Welcome to the OSLC Connect for Jira training. I'm Robert Polarion. Today we're going to focus on our basic linking between Polarion and Jira. Now, what do we need to know? The goal here is to be able to focus on how do we create links, show the information across those links, and navigate between the different tools, and be able to go between different projects and repositories. Now, what should we know about OSLC links? They're pretty basic links. They build off of web technology. So the only thing we store in these tools are the title, the URL, the relationship type. All the information that's on the other end of that link is actually under authentication control and dynamic information. So it's the latest information from the remote repository. In addition to that, we're going to focus on the standard OSLC domains. In this case, Jira is going to provide our change management domain, and we could connect to either quality management, requirements management, or other change management tools. In this case, we're going to focus on Polarion showing us some of the requirements management domain and the link types that we have for that. And with that, what I'd like to do is actually show it live and give you a experience of what you can see with OSLC Connect for Jira and Polarion. So let's start our tour here in Jira. So on here, I have a simple task. Within the simple task, we're going to show you a preview of a link, an OSLC link provided by OSLC Connect for Jira. And we see this as just a normal issue link within Jira itself. So this is how deeply embedded our product is within Jira. A few things here to note. Number one, let's go ahead and refresh this item because you'll see some dynamic information that's taking place. So it's going to go ahead and dynamically pull information about this ticket from across in Polarion. And so in here, we'll see the icon of the requirement type. We'll be able to see some what we call link decorators that show us the status and priority of this item that are dynamically pulled, as well as the title of that requirement themselves. This is all part about OSLC. So I've previously logged into Polarion, so I'm already authenticated. I can see that information. Now, in addition to showing the link information here, if I put my mouse over the top of this, I'm going to get what's called a rich hover. So this is a preview of this artifact from Polarion. It's embedded within an iframe. So it's showing me Polarion content dynamically and pulling that information directly from Polarion. In fact, I can actually do a larger preview if I want, be able to see further information, indeed even more information from contained within Polarion about approvals, about linked work items, additional content that I might have on my artifact within Polarion. It gives me a way to be able to access information live from within Jira without actually having to navigate over to Polarion. Now, the other part about this is, and the nice thing about OSLC is navigation is actually part of the story. So as much as if I'm looking at an artifact, see the details in a rich preview, if I want to navigate to it, I simply have to click on that artifact. It's going to open up a new tab, navigate me over to that artifact in Polarion, and give me full access to that artifact and be able to have access to edit that, navigate to it, as well as we're going to be able to see that this is a bidirectional link that we create. So we have a link back to that artifact that I created from in Jira already. So the other thing that we want to look at here is the dynamics of it. So if we saw over here within Jira, we saw the status of being approved. If I went over to Polarion, I could go ahead and change this status. Maybe I want to reject this item for some particular reason. Maybe it's obsolete. If I save that status, the next time I'm over within Jira, I can do a rich hover. I'm going to be able to see that updated status. In fact, if somebody just reopened this ticket, they're going to see those link decorators are going to update, and then it will show me immediately that status. And that's the important part of these link update. These link decorators, they provide me a lot of information just simply at a glance. And that's kind of the rich power of what we can see from the Jira side, just being able to see links, navigate links, and be able to see the information that's contained within. Now that we've talked about navigating links, let's talk about how to be able to create those OSLC links. Within Jira here, we can come to any of our link dialogues here. to be able to add another issue link. What you'll see now is an option to be able to add a collaboration link. This is an OSLC link. In here, what we talk about is a link type. So this is the role that we play. So these effects and implements requirements are a link between a change artifact and a requirement artifact. We have some additional link types here, like tracks that are actually between a change artifact and with to another change artifact, in case you're linking between change artifacts in Polarion and change artifacts within Jira. You have options to be able to do this, but these are going to be following the OSLC conventions and the standard OSLC relationship types. So let's start with just an implements requirement. We're going to have an option to be able to pick a container. This is going to be your Polarion project that you want to create a relationship to. And with the option to either create a new requirement or link to an existing requirement. Usually when we're working with Polarion, we're going to create a link to an existing requirement. So let's just focus on that ability right now. So if we want to create a link to an existing artifact, we can just select an artifact. What this is going to do is going to provide us with a Polarion dialog within Jira. So this is actually Polarion providing us this interface. We can come in and be able to search for artifacts, filter for artifacts using this common Polarion dialog, and I can pick an artifact and be able to create a link. Just as simple as that. Once that artifact type is placed on this artifact, we'll see this role type, implements requirement, and then I'll be able to immediately see that rich preview to that artifact back in Polarion. And you'll see if I navigate over to that artifact, you'll see the backlink back into Jira. So we have both perspectives, and simply by creating a link from Jira, you're going to see that we actually have our link back to Jira within Polarion as well. So no matter what end we create that link, we'll see links in both directions. Now, the other common way for me to create links, and it's a way that a lot of our users take advantage of our Jira integration, is they have Polarion already open in another window. So for example, maybe they have a specification open. The nice thing is we support a drag and drop interface. Means that I can go ahead and grab a requirement, drag it over to my tab within Jira, and be able to drop it onto my existing links and be able to add a link just as easily as that. This is a quick way for me to be able to add links, and I can do it one more time because I want to point out another detail associated with that. When I drag an artifact over here and be able to bring this in to be able to create a link, it's going to go ahead and default to that role type that I dropped it onto. But if I wanted to, I could actually switch the link type that I want to. So just bringing it over into our issue link dialog allows me able to create those links. It's an easy way to be able to create links. Saves a few clicks, makes it easy to be able to bring lots of different requirements into Polarion, from Polarion into Jira. Now let's take a look at OSLC links from the Polarion side. You're going to see within our normal Polarion artifact, we're going to have access to linked work items. That includes internal links within Polarion, so you can see the has parent is parent of links, but you also can see the OSLC links. So this is a link back into Jira. You're going to see the icon for it. You're going to see the ID for it. You're also going to be able to see that you can do a rich hover to be able to see those artifacts within Jira natively within Polarion, so you can have access to those artifacts. It's as simple as that. The other part that you're going to see within Polarion is there is an ability to be able to configure dynamic tables within those artifacts. So you can see this down in this ECR area. I have this configured so that all my Jira issues here, it's going to show me the title of the artifact. It's also going to show me my Jira ID, my Jira status, even the priority as dynamic artifacts that are loaded every time I load this page. Think of this as the link decorators that we had on the Jira side. It allows us to be able to see Jira data within Polarion at a glance without having to do rich hovers on all those items. So if you have 5, 10 artifacts linked to a single requirement within Polarion, you're going to have instant access to all that information. It makes it just much easier for a user to interact with the system. So now that we know how to navigate links, let's talk about how we can create links in Polarion back into Jira and how they manifest themselves. So let's start here with just a simple Polarion ticket that we've been working on. If I want to add a link, it's simple as being able to click on the edit, and you'll see a couple things. We're going to focus on this implemented by link because this is a known relationship that I know is an OSLC link. And you'll be able to see that by this third icon here. This third icon here is talking about an external link. In this case, an external link to a link data server. So this is an OSLC server. So in this case, what I can do is I can pick a specific server. I'm going to get a list. Right now, I only have one Jira server that's connected. And I have the option to either pick an existing artifact or create a new item. Let's go ahead and create a new item because I think it's an easy concept to be able to focus on to begin with. You're going to see a few things. I indicated that I want to create a task, and I have that mapped to a Jira task right now. So I can just see my Jira dialog, because this is actually a dialog being presented from Jira into my Polarion environment. So I can create a simple task from Polarion. I can add a description if I want. And I can do things like, let's assign it to somebody. We can assign it to the administrator. We can go ahead and change the priority if we want. All these fields are available. The nice thing now is I can create a Jira artifact right from Polarion. I don't have to leave Polarion to be able to do that. So I can go ahead and create that artifact now. And you'll see that I actually have a new artifact here. And in fact, I can go ahead and navigate and open that artifact. One of the things you'll find here, I don't have a backlink on this artifact yet. The reason being is Polarion doesn't create those links until I actually save this. So while it created the Jira artifact from that creation dialog, it isn't until I save that it finalizes that link within Polarion. And then if I came over to this Jira artifact and did a refresh, we're going to see that link appear on this artifact now. So now you can see that I have that backlink back into Polarion, and I can actually see those artifacts live within there. So that gives you a sense of how simple it is to be able to create a new artifact from Polarion, as well as make sure that you save that Polarion artifact to be able to finalize that link. Now, the other thing that I can do is I can also create a link to an existing artifact. And there's a couple different things that we're going to see here. When we go to create a link to an existing artifact, let's go ahead and pick that task item again. I have a couple options. This here is for our standard kind of Jira users. So they're used to being able to just start typing in a key and be able to see artifacts that they might want to be able to link to. So if I want to be able to link to my first item that I see, I can be able to link to this Polarion -6 item, and I can be able to select that artifact and create that link. It's just as simple to be able to do that. The same thing goes with, I can use another link dialog here to link to an existing item, which is our search dialog, which might be a little bit more intuitive to some people. We can be able to search. This way I can pick between tasks or stories or bugs to be able to filter through the different types of items that I might have within Jira and be able to pick an item that I want to be able to create a link to. And just as easily as that, be able to select that artifact and create a link. A quick note there, the Jira interface does support multi-select, Polarion doesn't. So when you're creating those links, pick a single artifact at a time. You'll be safe to be able to create those links. Like we said before, if I navigated over to this link, I'm not going to see my item 419 yet, because I haven't actually finalized that until I press save within Polarion. So once I press save, it's going to save that link information. If I come back to my Jira artifact over here, we're going to see that we should have that link back to item 419, as well as you'll be able to see down here below, you'll see this table that we have configured within Polarion, showing the status of these items, the priorities of the items. You can see these details here as we add those new links. Thank you for joining our training session. If you have more questions, please reach out to us at SodiusWillert.com.